In this diagram, the 5 helium atoms are representing a much larger cloud. The red dots represent the electrons in the first quantum level. Notice that they are moving freely around the atom and are not necessarily directly opposite the other electron at all times. Because they are not necessarily directly across from each other at all times, occasionally they will end up being on the same side. This causes a dipole negative and a dipole positive charge on the atom. When one atom has a dipole, even for just the slightest amount of time, the surrounding atom's electrons will be attracted to the positive dipole of the first atom. A third atom's electrons will then be attracted to the positive dipole of the second atom, and so on, forming a large chain reaction. This property can affect all atoms and nonpolar molecules, including the noble gases that you see here. Instantaneous dipoles are responsible for keeping gases more grouped than they would be without these attractions. This cloud of ionized gas and noble gases in space is an example of momentary dipoles in action, keeping them stuck together when gravity could pull them apart. Induced dipoles also involve forcing a charge onto an otherwise neutral substance. However, instead of two nonpolar substances, there is one polar particle and one nonpolar particle. It works in a very similar manner to static electricity as is shown in the model here. As the protons approach the otherwise neutral substance, the electrons are attracted to the polarity of the atom and move towards it, causing an imbalance to be formed. Have you ever wondered how spiders or geckos climb walls? The reason they can do it is that on the end of their digits they have a special fiber that has a positive charge in their hairs in spiders and setae in geckos. The positive side of the fibers attract the electrons in the nonpolar wall. The force of attraction between the created dipoles is strong enough to support the animal's body weight. This trait is being put to use in the new James Bond-esque experimental climbing gear that is being tested, which would allow people with special hand grips to climb up walls. Although it's not ready for public sale yet, it could be coming in the near future. Of course, lastly, Spider-Man uses this to climb walls. And although I've never been a big Spider-Man fan, most of you probably have a pretty polar opinion.